All right, traders, we have a lot to discuss. The CPI data is going to be released at 8:30 a.m. I'm also going to be recapping the trades that I ended up making today, along with preparing you to trade the best setups at the best prices. Let's get straight into today's lesson. So starting off with the analysis that I sent out in the pre-market to members within Trader Society, I said $408.04, which was the closing price of Friday, is the make or break gap support level. I'm super bullish in hindsight because we did end up gapping up. It must form support at 408. If so, we're going to see 411. And then at 9:44 a.m., I gave another update stating that we are on track for $411. Focus on buying decent dips. Previous resistance will try to react as a support. So the reason why I was bullish and the reason why I decided to buy call options at the exact low of day, bottom tick in the SPY right here at 9:36 a.m. alerted to my team real time within Trader Society. That was the first trade that I made. I literally bottom tick SPY. The reason why I ended up buying calls personally is because, like I said, if it gaps up, I'm leaning towards automatically bullish. Like I said, all they had to do was break above $408, this previous support, to trigger a bear trap to then skyrocket to 411. Plus there was a gap to fill above at 415, right? So all they really had to do was break above this $408 and react as a support. So I noticed in the pre-market, the SPY was breaking above the previous closing price, going from 408 to $410 almost. So I'm sitting here and I'm saying, the next resistance level would be 411. There's a gap to fill at 415. We already had a massive breakout above the previous closing price. So if we can just come crashing back down towards that previous closing price for the gap close reversal strategy, I'm going to buy it. I'm not going to nickel and dime it and try to wait for the gap to fill at 408.4. It's already bullish. It gapped up. It had a nice breakout and it still hasn't touched 411 and there's a gap to fill above. So in terms of my confirmation for buying at the level that I ended up buying, which was at 9:36 a.m., I was looking at pre-market support. I said, okay, there's pre-market support right here at 408.30. It could bottom here and rocket back up. So instead of waiting for 408.04, I'm just going to get in right now, right? So that was the main confirmation. It was the pre-market support and it was already breaking out from that support. So if it's just going to instantly drop back towards that support level, not a lot of risk. I would be risking like 407.50 to slightly under like 408. But yeah, the gap close reversal strategy worked again, and I ended up bottom taking SPY. After that, I proceeded to make a lot of scalps. None of them were the best setups at the best prices. That was the best one, the partial gap close reversal. Basically, when SPY has a break above that 408 level and it starts to gap up and it comes back down to fill that gap, this previous resistance is going to react to support. Therefore, it's going to be bullish, which is why I told people the overall trend is bullish and to focus calls on dips. I ended up doing a lot of trades today, very quick in and out scalps, 1 to 2 minute trades, a lot of puts, a lot of calls. Overall, definitely was my best day, a little bit sloppy, but overall, especially towards the end, I picked up very, very well, and I ended up making a little bit over 5K on the day. But with that being said, in terms of where we stand, and some nice trades I had heading into the close was buying calls. I was scalping calls into this and into this move. Bullish candlestick right here, pumps up. Bullish candlestick right here, pumps up. As soon as it breaks above 411.80, the calls are going to print. It's going to rocket back up. I had a very nice 40% win right before the close, buying the dip into this bullish, into this candlestick right here when it looked bearish and it was dipping down. But anyways, in terms of where we stand for the SPY, right? $412.83. This is going to be one of our new key make it or break it levels, the closing price of today, which will be the previous closing price once tomorrow hits. So these are our key levels: $412.83, $408.04, and $415 and $400. So I'm going to quickly explain these. CPI is going to come out and a big move is going to occur. For those of you who are in Trader Society, once we get the big move, I'm going to update the key levels. But in terms of preparation, and what I can tell you now is these are going to be the levels that we're going to be targeting. $400, there's a gap to fill at $400.59. If it does crash to $400.59, I will be interested in scalping a call option for a short-term micro reversal on calls. Another trade I'll be interested in making is I'm keeping an eye on these two levels. I'm keeping an eye on 415. There's a gap to fill above at 415 right here, $415.19. And there's also gaps to fill above at 422 and 427. In terms of puts and shorting the SPY, those are the levels that I'm going to be targeting. In terms of your middle levels, 412.83 and 408. So here's the deal, man. We're going to have gaps to fill. We have gaps to fill right now at 422. We have a gap to fill at 412.83. We have a gap to fill at 408.04, and we have a gap to fill at $400. If one of those levels breaks down and reacts as a resistance, it goes down to the lower gap. If one of those levels breaks down and reacts as support, it goes up to the higher gap. So in terms of a key time chart that I'm going to be using heading into CPI in terms of my levels are going to be the gaps, make or break, gap close reversals, support resistance, 422.14, 415.19, 412.83, and $408 and $400.59. If one of those levels reacts as a support level, then it's going to start to go to the next level within time, not right away, right? I'm not going to hold and hope till the next level. I'm going to be scaling in and out very, very quickly, aiming for just a piece of that next level. If one of those levels breaks down, reacts as a resistance level, then it goes down below to the next level. So if you want to write those down, $422.14, $415.19, $412.98, $408, and $400. Those are our levels heading into tomorrow. The higher the level, the better the short, the better the put option. The lower the level, the better the buy, the better the call option, right? So that's what I'm going to be targeting. Those are make or break gap levels. We're going to see if they react as a reversal, reacts as a support, or reacts as a resistance. We shall see heading into tomorrow. Now, in terms of how I play CPI, this is what I want you to understand in terms of when major news events comes out. So there's people who are swing trading, they're gambling, right? And I'm not looking to do that. So I just wait for the bag holders to get created. So once this CPI gets released, both sides can get crushed. One side can get crushed. We have to see what happens. So basically what I'm telling you is this is how I would look to play the CPI data. I would look for a small channel. So heading into tomorrow, it's all going to be within the pre-market, and I will know the channels right before CPI and right after CPI, and I'm going to analyze the channel. But this is what I want you to understand in terms of how I would play it in a sense. Let's say SPY went super bearish. So let's say SPY went super bearish heading into CPI, and we were trading at, let's say, $412 to $413. So your resistance was at 413, your support was at 412. If it cracks 412 and has a massive drop, what I would do is, this is what I would do. I would set a price alert from where that massive crash triggered. So if it cracked 412 and it had a massive drop, I would set a price alert at or above $412. Now, the further SPY drops, the better. The quicker it drops, the better. And if it has some sort of reversal and instantly spikes back up just as fast as it crashed and touched 412, I would then buy puts at the previous support, not at the resistance, because it already topped at the resistance and the bag holders got created when the massive crash was triggered at $412 for this example, right? So if that happened and SPY had a massive pullback, the first time it retest the previous support of that little micro channel before CPI, you can also do this into CPI, I would then look to short, expecting it to react as a lower high, previous support reacts as a resistance. That's what I would look to do, right? So that's how I take advantage of bag holders. I wait for them to get created. If SPY is trading from 413 to 412 and then CPI comes out and it drops massively, then it rips back up to 412 whenever it happens, I'm going to take advantage of buying puts and shorting the stock because people are going to see, oh man, this was just at 412 and it sold off massively. This is the first time it's retesting now. Everyone's going to sell. All the bag holders are going to sell. They're going to realize, oh, that's a terrible entry. I'm going to get out here. This is where I should be selling. Already got wrecked, right? So that's how I take advantage of people. I wait for the move to come out. You must wait for a bag holder to get created. And you can also play reversals. So like if this cracked 412 and sold off hard, I would look for a level to see where it can have a reversal. And what I would do is I would aim for the oversold gaps. I would pay attention to $400.59 for a potential dip buying opportunity, for a reversal to ride it back up a little bit, right? And in terms of how I could play it on the long side, let's say it had a break above 413. Support was at 412. It had a break above 413. And then let's say it went to 420s. It went to 420s. Well, what I would do is I would set a price alert at or below 413. And then what I would do from there is if it has a massive breakout and then crashes back to 413, I would buy calls because previous resistance will try to react to support. So you want massive overreactions, and then when they retest that previous resistance, that's when you buy calls. And when they retest that previous support, that's when you buy puts for the massive crash, right? That's how I would play these. So if it broke above 413, I would want a massive breakout. And then if it instantly crashes right back down, whenever it happens, I would buy calls at the previous resistance level because it should react as support the first time for a quick scalp because it had a massive breakout. And then in terms of puts, if it cracked $412, I would wait for it to have a massive crash, and then I want it to instantly go back up to 412. Then I would play puts. Previous support reacts as a resistance. If it breaks out, then previous resistance reacts as support. That's how I take advantage of bag holders. So I wait for the news to come out. I miss the big move initially, and as I'm missing the big move, I'll actually look for trend reversal confirmations. So like if I missed out on the move and it went bullish, I would look for puts into short towards these gaps at like $422 or $427. That's what I would do. I would target reversal levels. If it crashed and I missed out on the big move, then I would look for reversals at $400.59, right? And then I would also play the channels. If SPY is a massive breakout above 413 and then it drops back to 413, the first time previous resistance reacts as support, I scalp the calls. If SPY has a massive crash at $412, first time it retests 412, it should react as a lower high. Previous support is now resistance. So that's what I do. I don't flip a coin. I wait to see, okay, here's the micro channel before CPI. Here's the micro channel after CPI. Here's where we can potentially have reversals. Here's going to be the levels where I'm interested in taking advantage of the bag holder. Okay, SPY went from $412 to $422. It dropped back to 412, previous resistance, right? All right, let's buy calls at previous resistance. It should react to support, had a massive breakout. Okay, SPY went bearish. It cracked 411, had a massive crash under 411, went to 400. Okay, it instantly spiked back to 411 after that massive crash. Let's play puts. Previous support should react as a lower high. It's common sense. You just have to study where the bag holders are created, and you must wait for that to seize that opportunity. So like I said, I'm going to be updating my new levels in terms of those bag holder levels. Those are going to be updated before and after CPI data. We're going to take advantage of that whenever it decides to happen, whenever the levels trigger, but we will be prepared. And we're also going to take advantage of trend reversal opportunities. So that's my outlook on the market. That's how I kind of view this as. I identify where the trend reversals can hit, and I also identify where the bag holders are created. And I take advantage of that when those levels are retested for the first time. If SPY breaks above 413 and goes to 422 and then crashes back to 413, I'm buying calls because previous resistance should react to support, had a massive breakout. If SPY cracks below 412 and goes to $400 and then instantly rips back up to 412, I'm buying puts because previous support should react as a resistance. The point is, one of those things that I just mentioned is going to happen eventually. It might not happen tomorrow, but eventually it's going to happen. And that's going to be a very lucrative trading opportunity that most people are not prepared for. All people are doing is they're gambling. They're getting in before CPI. They're getting in before the bag holders are created. Instead of getting in before the bag holders are created, I miss out. And as I'm missing out, I look for opportunities for a trend reversal. If it goes super bearish, I'm going to look for an opportunity for a trend reversal to buy calls because it's oversold at $400. If it's super bullish, then I'm going to look for opportunities to buy puts at the gaps towards 422. So as I missed out on the gambling coin toss lotto move, I identify trend reversals. And then I also know where the bag holders are created. So once those levels get tested, if it goes super bullish, I buy at the previous resistance, reacts as support. If it goes super bearish, then I short the previous support, reacts as a new lower high resistance. Very simple, man. Those two things are two things that you will not see, you will rarely see people, do in terms of what it is that I'm talking about. They usually just gamble and swing trade right before the CPI. So I miss out on the first initial move. Then I identify trend reversals, and I also set my price alerts at the channels where I can take advantage of previous support reacting as a resistance if it goes bearish, and previous resistance reacting as support if it goes bullish, right? But you must wait. So all those new levels are going to be released heading into tomorrow. If you do want to be a part of Trader Society, this is going to be the best time to join Trader Society. It is the first link down below in the description of this video. It is a one-time fee. It is a lifetime access. You get access to live trading every single day. You get access to the live chat, the live streams, the network, the community, the video lesson library, the gap trading system that I created. It is all in there, man. Everything that I've learned about the market is in there, and it will continue to be updated on a regular basis. Like I said, the best trade I had today was my first trade. I bought call options at the exact low. Then I played puts, made a nice little win. Then I played puts 3 more times, 3 losses in a row, small losses. Then I had 1 bigger loss on puts. Then I started getting adjusted to the trend, right? I was actually playing puts against the trend at one point. It was working for very, very small wins. And that's not the right and the best way to trade, but you can make money trading against the trend. We're talking about 1 to 2 minute scalps in this sense. There was no best setups at best prices besides the calls at the gap. So from there, I was just doing lotto trades. Like I said, man, if I want, I'll take a lotto trade. But I'm going to do it with much smaller size and in and out very, very quickly within minutes. But overall, it was a little sloppy, but it was a decent day overall, about a 5K profit. And like I said, man, in terms of the best steps of best prices, we nailed calls at the exact low of day. So if you do want to be a part of Trader Society, it's going to be the first link down below in the description. And we have a very unique system, man. Like I said, we have our key levels. This is the trading plans. Once they trigger, I go live on the stream, trade these live, also alert real time within the SPY floor within Will Alerts, right? And as I'm waiting for my price alerts to trigger, like I said, you can do whatever it is that you want to do. For me, I'll look to enter some lotto trades, which is something I would not recommend for any small account. I would not recommend it for anyone who's not already successful and living off the gains provided within the stock market, right? Lotto trades to me are trades that I make with a much smaller account that I do fairly well with in the long run. They're not the best setups at the best prices, but if you're a laser quick scalper, you can do fairly well with them. If ideally you have above 25K, right? So if you don't have a large account and you're not already successful and doing very, very well in the market, don't even do them. The best setups at the best price, we have a very simple system. You trade the plan, you trade the key levels. When the plan triggers, our price alert triggers, we're prepared to trade the best setup at the best prices. We then will look to trade live on stream. Trade live on stream once the plan triggers, alert my trades in real time. In the meantime, it's education, it's lotto trades, it's whatever you want it to be. We're waiting for the best setups, the best prices. In the meantime, for me, I look to do some lotto trades and I'll answer questions within chat and I'll be active in chat fairly all day. So if you do want to be a part of it, it's going to be the first link down below in the description. I will see you guys tomorrow live at Market Open.